Welcome to USA Global TV and Radio, where our mission is to provide education, entertainment, hope, and inspiration. USA Global TV and Radio connects you with experts and audiences all around the world every single day to help you succeed in business and to live a richer life. Visit us at usaglobaltv.com to learn about career and life-changing training and mentoring programs like the Listening Mentor. Subscribe to our newsletter to stay informed about our special programs and offers. Discover how you can become a guest on one of our shows or a host or producer of a USA Global TV and Radio show of your very own. That's USA Global TV and Radio, where the doctor is always in.
Hello and welcome to USA Global TV and Radio. I'm Dr. JACALYN Kerbeck, and our show today is the Mallorca Connection. And as you know, we couldn't do this show if it weren't for the man originally from the Mallorca Connection, but now traveling on the road, Mr. Roland Friedl. Let's welcome him and bring him out, and then welcome back our special guest. Roland, come on out. How are you?
Hello, Dr. JACALYN. Great to see you. You look amazing in this costume. I love it.
Thank you. I think I'm channeling Minnie Mouse. I'm not really sure.
Yeah, the Minnie Mouse.
M-I-C-K-E-Y. Okay, that's for another show. Roland, I love what you and Marcine just did on the last show, the Earth Show. That was really fascinating about growing our own food.
Yeah, absolutely. I love this topic, because really everybody can grow his or her own food, even if you don't have a garden. It's on the terrace, on the balcony. Even there are now solutions on the market where you can really easily grow your own stuff inside, organic, fresh. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. I know we're going to get into the topic for today, which is male initiation and path of rights. Yeah. Just a quick question I have about the gardening, the growing your own food. And I meant to ask this, I'm not sure if you touched on it, but do we need to have some type of animals, insects that go in the soil to help facilitate the growth, or that's not necessary?
In the soil, yeah. When you have a soil, yes, of course, because they bring air into it. It's more fluffy, and they also because when they die, they become part of the compost. Yeah, but if you use these vertical gardening systems, you don't use it anymore because we only have the soil to get the minerals out for the plants, and you can do it by organic minerals in water. It's the same one.
Okay, I like it. Very interesting. Thank you. All right, Roland, please tell our audience, if they haven't met you before, about the work that you're doing to help people all over the world, whether it's through your coaching, your men's work, the work you're doing here.
Oh gosh, how much time do we have? Well, actually, after university, and I started in the corporate world. I had a very fast career in sales, then I became a manager, and then marketing, and at the end, I was, I guess, the youngest member of board of directors in a big company. I left the company, the corporate world, started my own businesses in different areas and different industries. Learned a lot from my failures, also had a lot of success. And then I transformed all this experience into my coaching consulting companies, Partner Performance Systems, which run over 2.5 decades now, where we coach, consult, train, spare big international companies worldwide, but also national companies and startups. That's what I do with my team. That's my main business I did all over the years, and I really love still doing that. And besides that, I do men's work. I have this Sparing for Men platform. And here on USA Global TV, right after this show, the men's show, a show for men, by men, about men, the Wild at Heart show, where we discuss men's topics. I'm very engaged in an environmental project because I strongly believe you have to respect Mother Earth. That's why I did the Earth show before. And also have the foundation. I support orphanages all over the place. So I do a lot of stuff. And besides that, I travel, I write a book, I write blogs. And yeah, I connect and share and care with other people. That's what I'm doing.
Well, thank you for doing that here with us. And thank you for bringing your guest back. Daniel, can you please tell our audience a little bit about him?
Yeah, and actually, we already had him once on the show. I met Daniel last year, actually. I'm not quite sure, May or June. I was on the men's festival. I was working with men's group. So I joined the men's festival because it was very close to my hometown where I was born. So it's a good idea to go back to this area. I enjoyed it. It was a good start. I wasn't very happy with all the organization, but it was quite cool. It was some really good workshops. And one of these workshops I attended was Daniel once, and then we had a private chat together with issues I had. And then we stood in contact, and yeah, that's where we met. He does an amazing job for men, for male kids, and for adults, for grown-ups. He does an amazing job. I love his approach, how he speaks. He's very wisely. He's an excellent listener. I guess he always trusts his guts, his feelings, his intuition, and he's an amazing person. We can learn a lot from him. And I'm very happy that he invited me to his Brotherhood festival in July in Austria. So I'm very looking forward to go get. So Daniel does an amazing job in the men's world, absolutely. But not only the men's world, you know that, Jacqueline, it's a World Women's Day. Today is the World Women's Day. So if men are working on themselves, I guess the women will also benefit amazingly.
I think you are right on with that. Let's bring Daniel out because my first question is going to be about male initiation. Welcome to the program. Being alive now, Daniel. Nice to have you back.
Hi, Daniel. Good to see you, brother.
Nice to see you.
Hey,
So,
Dr. Jacqueline.
Daniel, my question is this. I happen to be going through one of the online streaming services looking for something to watch, and all of a sudden the old movie Animal House popped up. And when I think of male initiation, I think of fraternities. So what is it I'm missing out on? What is male initiation?
I honestly have no idea what it really is. I have to say, this came to me like 11 years ago. Came this topic of male initiation to me, and I was like very curious about it. And I was like, how indigenous people or native people are still initiating their boys to become men, and we are in the Western culture, we don't really do this anymore. And I was reading books about it, and I was really missing this part in me of becoming initiated as a man by my father or by community or by other men. And I was lacking this. I was like 29 years old at this point of time, and I was doing social work. I was doing with a lot of kids, with male kids, and they were longing for this contact, this male contact, and me as well. And then I had a person who was an educator, and I was doing a training with him about ritual fighting, using ritual fighting for beneficial contact between boys. And I love this space of not martial arts, but really getting into contact. And he was an elder in a male initiation initiative. And I realized it, and I asked him, hey, what is it? And would it be something for me? And he was like really secret about it. He was like, you will know for yourself. And he was not promoting it. He was not like making me hungry or anything. And I was like, that's really strange. I want to know about this, and I want to dig deeper into this. And this became like, I was then giving me as a birthday present for my 30th birthday, these 5 days male initiation after Richard Rohr, who is a guy from the States, who has been like in 40, 50 years researching, building together a program with all the wisdom from different cultures and different cultures who are still doing initiation from Africa, from other countries. And he was building a program based on his belief. He's a Christian with a Christian background, and he was putting together this program. And I was signing up and doing the preparation for it. And this was my birthday present for myself at this point of time. And now looking back, these 11 years, this was like the starting point to follow my intuition, to follow my soul, to really listen and get into service, being of service to the community, to Earth, to other people. And this was, looking back, this was really a big initiation for myself, and for also starting to be in service in male work and being in service for boys and schools and different, and bringing in this modality of perspective. What is it when you become a little bit more riper as a man? And what is a man anyway? What is the definition? How does it feel? And what is like an embodied male archetype? So this was my start of big research, which is still going on. And I will share about the Brotherhood Festival, which is like a stepping stone 10 years after going into this field.
Thank you so much. Roland?
It's World Women's Day, but you know, we have a lot of discussion about praise all the women. Let's praise all the women. I love them. I really do. What I want to say is,
we're going to take a break now. No, I'm kidding.
you know, there's always a discussion in society about masculinity is toxic and stuff like that. And I also did, like you, Daniel, a lot of research when I was traveling, and I was in Amazonas and in other areas in Africa with some tribes, and I saw this initiation rite they had with the boys, you know, different stuff. Some boys went alone in the Amazon, spending there 3-4 days. The other one went in the desert or in the mountains, and they did different rituals. And I was thinking about myself, oh, this is quite cool. This is quite cool, because I don't had a role model. You know, my dad was not present. Both grandparents passed away before I was born. So I just I came into this world and had to find my place there. But what I want to discuss with you, Daniel, is actually today at lunchtime around, it's heavily raining in Portugal right now. I found a quote, and it says, masculinity is not toxic. The absence of it is toxic. Weak men are abusive and spiteful. Strong masculine men are protective. That's what you say, protective and loving, meaning being on service for others. Can you talk a little bit about real men, be on service, be protective? Because some people believe that masculinity is something toxic, what is not at all.
My experience in these years, I was full on fire with this idea of holding space for men, holding space for boys, holding space for youth, becoming adults, in this of what is masculinity, of what does it mean to become a man in a way. And it's my own research, and I was sharing my own research by holding spaces for. I was a lot in schools. I was a lot with young adults who had really trouble in their life, and with men. And this, when you're in a space of just men being together in this, there's a lot of different programs, different seminars, but there's one quality which shows is this men sitting together again in the fire, sharing, leaving competition behind, starting to feel this, oh wow, how good it is to be around men and how liberating it can be. And then after some process times, after some time of really going into this, one teacher of mine said to recharge the batteries with the brothers, not somewhere else, but in the brotherhood, recharge the batteries. And then there comes this point, not with every man, but with some men, of this, hey, what's my next step? How can I be of service to Mother Earth, to the divine feminine, to women, but really in this selfless act of wanting to be of service. And this is, for me, this became a quality grade of if there is really profound, deeper work happening, if man in this space starting to raise this question and exploring and wanting to go deeper. With me, it happened, I think it was 2015 and 16. And I was at a year-long training in integral manhood. It's like it's a translation from German. It's not perfect. And the last model was a meeting day with women. So the women prepared and the men prepared 3 days. And then we had 1 day where we were meeting each other with our questions, with exchanging body work, with having very deep rituals. And after this was maybe one of the most touching days in my life. My body was vibrating the whole day. It was brotherhood and sisterhood meeting each other, really meeting each other, not by discussing, but really by embodying femininity and masculinity and exchanging. And after this, for me, it became so clear, I want to be in service to women, to femininity, to this archetype of Mother Earth. So this was something shifted in my system, and I could see it and feel it shifting in other men as well at this event. And this was something where I say, this male work does something, as coming into the brotherhood, there's a chance, a container that something can ripe, something can grow, something can get more adult from this. We all, I guess, all of us miss a father who said, I bless you on your way. And to take this step in another setting, to get this blessing from a father figure, and the relief it goes, and the sadness, for me it was a lot of sadness when this was happening. I was like, wow, I missed this so much, and I even didn't know about that I was missing it so much. And I tried to compensate with jobs, with different extreme sports or something, but it was just missing this blessing from a father figure of, hey, I see you, I value you, and I bless you. So this it's so easy to say, but going into this space and really experiencing and going through the emotional load maybe and the processing of it, what has built up in all these years, maybe not even having a grandfather. So we have kids around who have never contact with their fathers. So they're somehow lost, and they're looking for these figures in certain toxic environments, but always on this longing of a figure who could who could step into this spot if their father cannot do it by whatever, because he himself has not received a blessing. So this is a short experience sharing.
I really found a lot of things that piqued my interest in what you just shared. And before we go to Roland for the male perspective, what I'm just wondering is, I know for me, I always wanted my father's approval, always. And
Approval is the word.
approval. And I felt
Yes.
like I got it, but then as I got closer, then it was moving further away. And it was constantly this dance, I guess, so to speak. And then as I got older, people would say, or you'd go to therapists or talk to a coach, that you don't need anyone's approval, that you need to find the approval from within. So where is that fine line between wanting to have, maybe it's that masculine role model or someone who is in a position to really give you that pat on the back or that encouragement to go forward, and also finding it within yourself?
Thank you for the question. It's touching me deeply. I have a resonance in my whole body about this. It's like, okay, whoa. I believed in this idea of you have to find it in yourself, and I tried it a lot. And at certain points, it's possible. And my experience, it's just my experience, was when it happened that somebody in a course gave me this approval, and then also before my father died, he did something in me, and there was something in the nervous system, something in the whole system, longing or need to look for it, and also not to find it in myself. It's there, and it was like transmitted. And my belief is this approval is a very necessary part, a crucial part to give as an adult to our kids, to give as a teacher to our students, so they don't have to look everywhere for it, in very expensive seminars, in coaching sessions. They are there, but they are filled. And then it's in them, so they don't have to look for it, but they feel, I got approved, I'm valuable exactly as I am, and I'm loved like that. So my experience is this is a very crucial thing to do. And I find it, yes, very necessary to implement something like this in our culture.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for the question. This was, yeah.
It totally touched me when you said goosebumps. And Daniel, I remember when I was a growing kid, in my 16s, 15s, 16s, I didn't have a dad who was present. I had a dad, but he was working. He didn't care about me and my brother. So I had some people who stood in for, some elder friends or the uncle of my girl, one of my girlfriends, or a kind of substitute. But yeah, it helped a little bit, but it was not what I was looking for. And I made my way, what society is expecting, go to school and getting into this competitive treadmill, be the best in school, get the best marks, so you get a good university. And after good university, you get the best job, you make a hell of money, you get a marvelous house, a beautiful woman, and a fancy car. I all did this shit. And at the end, to be honest, I moved to this amazing island, one of the most beautiful islands in the world. I had everything, and I was sitting there, I had a couple of drinks, and I was not really happy. And I was missing, I wouldn't say I was missing my dad, but I was missing a role model, some guidance, and I tried different things, but in my head, I still was so competitive, with other men, I'm the coolest guy. It took me a long time to get rid of it, to be competitive and really enjoy the presence of other men and learn from them and share and also share the weakness and not being the coolest guy in this room. So my question to you is, for our audience, for men looking, because I know that I was struggling a long time, is how can, especially men and women, some business women too, how can they get really rid of it, leave behind, let go this being so competitive? And not feeling and losing so much connection to other people?
I guess this competition mode we have is really for this looking for approval. And it doesn't matter if it's the father or the mother, but this, I was only, getting a compliment if I'm doing well. If I'm having a good drawing, a good one, somebody is valuing, or somebody is like, you need to be. So this constant being better, this constant optimizing, because I'm not relaxed into myself. I'm not happy or satisfied with what is. And to my experience, we start by conditioning our kids from the beginning into this. You should draw like this, you should make the line like this. And the kids do it because they experience, oh, mommy or papi is happy if I do it like this. But it's not their inner thing. They already start to bend themselves to get out of their alignment. And then the consequence is competition, being better, always trying to be the best and to get this tap on the shoulder. So we do whatever we can do. And people are earning tons of money, just looking for this, hey, it's okay, relax. You don't need to do that. You're a lovely guy. I love you. Somebody from a person which is really of high value to us. Can be our father, can be a guide, can be our grandfather, can be our grandmother. It doesn't really matter, but somebody who has really something for us, where we are like, looking up to this person. And we go and we go around and we look for, as you said, guidance. Someone who is is supporting us, someone who is there, and it doesn't matter if I have the biggest car or the smallest car. He's just there, and he's be like, hey, because it's of you as a human being and not as a person who has all these accomplishments. And I resonate with you. I tried a lot of different things, different jobs, and doing this and doing that. And at one point there was this, okay, so what? Am I truly happy? No. Am I alive? No. Yes, I did a lot of different things, and people be like, wow, you did this and all these accomplishments. And my side now, yes. Before, no. Maybe more important. So I dedicated more to go into this inner work, inner research, and not anymore being on the outside, but trying more on the inside. And then the outside changes or comes. So back to your question, I really have a feeling we need more mentors. We need more adults who take responsibility for kids, for youth, for kids who have maybe just the mother who is taking care for them and there's no father in their life. So there's mentors, male mentors, who spend time with them, who be there, who have a social life, who have a social network, who have like a stability in their life. So they can be always like resonating when I saw something calling for participants. Really love to be. I think this is more and more important. My experience is we get more and more lost into smartphone communication, digital fragmented worlds. So this analog being really there. This is something why I say I only do analog events anymore, because I really want that people can touch each other. They can sing in the same room, feel each other, cook with each other, taste something. Yes. So this analog world is getting less and less, and I want to just get it more and more.
Absolutely.
Daniel, a question I have for you is in our topic for today, male initiation and path of rites, RITES. Some people might wonder, was that a spelling mistake? Should it be RIGHTS? What do you think is the difference there?
I was thinking the same. So this is these paths, and there's in German it's Ritual, and then in English it's rites. So there's certain processes to be made. When I was having this male initiation 11 years ago, we were going through several stages, and it was a lot of symbolic work. So it was really like, in a way, touching the soul and making sense 10 years later. So now I can see or feel what was happening, what the seed that was planted 10 years ago. I can give a value now after these 10 years of observing my own development. So these rites are precise points to plant the seeds. They really have this going for vision and doing a vision quest of 3 nights with fasting, with being alone out there. And this is doing something to him, like a fast forward into adulthood. And when he comes back, he is looked at as an adult, not anymore as a boy after 3 days. And to get this experience, to get it in a way of, for us Western conditioned people, to make something like this, but in a different way, and which is appropriate for our standards and for our conditioning and for our livelihood, because I guess no mother would allow that a 14-year-old boy is sent into the desert, and when he, like, does he come back or not? Which some tribes are still doing in Africa. So there is no certainty that everyone is coming back, to my knowledge, what I read about it, which is like a very maybe brutal way of initiation.
Yep.
So we have this more mythologies and also system. So there's different branches, let's say, of doing this work.
Okay. Daniel, you said you did your initiation 11 years ago, meaning that it's not only for kids, for growing kids, you meaning
No.
also as an adult in your 20, 30, or like mine, almost in my 60. It's never too late to start it again and get a a positive outcome of it, a positive result, and being more happy.
Yes, this is never too late. When I was there, I was 30, and I was most of the youngest. Most of the guys were 50 to 60. And the idea is, as we don't do this as 14-year-old boys, as they did it, we're still wandering around. So we never had this initiation into adulthood and into male adulthood. So it doesn't matter if you're 70. If you go there, something will happen to you. You will, like, even if you think you're an adult, you will realize, oh my God, I'm not an adult in every aspect of my life.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So this, and it was for me so valuable to be with really older guys who have a total different life experience of myself. And there was so much sharing in between these different ages. For them, it was great to have me as a very young guy who loves to be very alive, who loves to dance very ecstatically, and to have this, and they were sharing more from different perspectives, which I had not experienced at this point of time. So this intermix of different ages is beautiful, and I recommend everyone of going into one form or another of initiation. I met men who have done it for themselves because their intuition was telling them how to do it. And there's programs to attend. I was doing, I guess, some of them. I was looking for different ideas how to do that. Some initiation that is still missing for me is doing a vision quest, being really 4 nights fasting, being alone out in the nature. This is something I did not do yet as an initiation. So there's a lot of different initiations possible, like also doing a fire walk. That's also an initiation. But there is more the initiation on malehood, getting ripe or getting grown up for a malehood, an adult malehood. And this I recommend to every one of my friends to attend something like this to their preference. And so yeah, Roland, I can totally recommend.
Absolutely. I mean, I did firewalks, but a vision quest for 3-4 days is also on my list. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. To face my inner demons alone and fasting.
Daniel, well, I have you on Spotlight. You mentioned about fasting and being alone in nature. How long is this process that you're envisioning for you to be alone with nature and to be fasting?
The normal vision quest, to my knowledge, is 4 days and 4 nights.
And is that water only?
Depending. Some really do it without water. So the 4 days without water and without food, and some are doing it with water and no food. So it really depends where you go. And I was signing up 2 times for Vision Quest in the Swiss mountains, and 2 times I had to drop out. The last time because my father died, and I said, okay, I cannot go now because I need to take care for his funeral and everything, and I cannot attend these 11 days. And this was yeah. So I was not doing it yet, and still it's on my, something inside me is telling me And I would love to really do it in the desert. I would really love to be in the desert and doing this vision quest, or doing this being alone and fasting. Like it's said in the Bible that Jesus was doing this for 40 days, being in the desert and fasting, which is a quite long period of time, but not unusual. I have people who are doing 49 days. I met a lot of how not to drink for a long time, how not to eat for a long time. So in my belief, everything is possible, but maybe not healthy in the long term. So this is a different thing. Something is good in the short term to experience something, a mystical state, but in the long term, it's not beneficial, or could be not beneficial, to not drink at all anymore.
Yeah, I think just something I want to share about that. I've been doing intermittent fasting, and I did it before for probably about 6 months. And I think there's a lot of benefit to it. But at the same time, I can't envision not drinking water because our body is mostly made up of water. So I'm just wondering, what are the psychological benefits of going without water in addition to going out without food? I can understand the food part, but the body really needs the water, I think. So what are those psychological benefits that are attained by abstaining from water for a long period of time?
I think it's really challenging you. Like this is really what I know. I never did it. A friend of mine did really a week without water. And every doctor, of course, was telling me he will die and it's not possible. But he survived. And I know a lot of other people who did really a period of time without water. And what they told me, it was challenging them a lot in their beliefs, in really getting through these beliefs that this is not possible. Our body is with water, so we need water to constantly have water inside. So yeah, maybe it's not. Maybe it's not that precise. Because if medicine tells you if you don't drink for 3 days, you are dead, and quite a lot of people prove that's not true. We tried it, we are still alive. And it's like, wait a minute. Maybe we should go into more research of this. And there's profound ways of bigu in the tradition of qigong to be with profound ways. Care for this.
I have a question, Daniel. What's the difference between a vision quest sitting 4 days or a week in the desert, on a mountain, or in the jungle, and a silent retreat, like, for example, Vipassana or something like that?
I guess it's both retreats, and the difference is with like you mentioned Vipassana, there's a certain framework you have to follow. There are certain guidelines, certain rules. There's also with Vipassana a certain idea from the teacher transmitted to you. So it's not free in a way. Depending on the teacher, it can be more free and less free. When you go out into nature, then the mountain speaks for himself. Nature is the teacher. So nature is showing you without any interest in your personal story, any interest in your struggle, any interest in your pain. It's just showing you what you have to learn by giving you signs through animals, through weather formations, through the wind playing a song for you. And it's about you perceiving this and taking these signs. So nature does not really care about you. And at the same time, it cares so much about you because it's nurturing you. You are like, this physical body is from Mother Earth and it will stay here, all the elements. The spirit, in my belief, will leave, but the matter stays here. So, and it's a different thing. And I think both has its value, and it's something to gain from it, something to take from it. So depending what is your preference.
Absolutely. Daniel,
for the
actually,
meditating style, the ascetic style.
Yeah.
Roland?
Yeah, just sorry to interrupt you because there was a few seconds in delay. Because time is running. Actually, as I said in the beginning, it's World Women's Day. I know we focused on male initiation, and this reads. I know that you know ladies who do female initiation. Can you tell a little bit about that for females?
I met some women, yes, who are doing womb awakening, female groups who are doing, in a way, these initiations, they call it differently. And I guess they started before these male initiation programs. As normally in all this male and female work, the female side is a little bit before. So they are earlier with doing the processes, doing the work. And that's quite amazing rooms they create. I have not attended one. And I just saw the results of meeting women who have been in yearly trainings of awakening femininity, or they are called different wordings they use, and how radiant they get, how much they are connecting to their body, how they are not anymore looking for compliments, but really being centered in themselves and just radiating and just being there. And for me, this was so valuable to experience, to perceive this radiation of femininity, which does not want anything, which does not need approval from somebody. And how these women just be gorgeous, no matter how old they are, no matter how young they are, no matter what size they were. There's this radiation coming from within. And this is something I experienced very, very beautiful and also very attracting. And so there is deep, profound work done in these circles. I know several women. Maybe you want to invite one of them who is doing for a lot of years these circles for women. So she could share, because I cannot share from the inside, just from my outside perceiving, in a way, the women who have done something like this. And I find it's super necessary.
Yeah, good idea. We're going to do that. Absolutely. Thank you. When you can make a contact, would be very,
Yeah,
very interesting.
for sure.
I love that.
Happy to do that.
Daniel, we've actually come to the end of our show. And of course, once again, very illuminating and appreciative of your time and insights. We have your banner here, but for people who can't read it, who would you like to contact you? And what's the best way to get in touch with you?
The best way is definitely via email. Just write me an email. And I love to get messages from people who are resonating, who are like, hey, wow, something touched me, or there's something to co-create or to make something together. I initiate a lot of different things, of workshops like this Brotherhood, in a way, festival where Roland will be a part of, bringing brothers together into the circle and really sharing without competition, everyone what his potential, what is his gift with the other brothers. And I invent new formats all the time. So new people coming in, new co-creations, just reach out, or you find me on Facebook as well.
Fantastic. Thank you again for being here.
Yeah,
Thank
Daniel,
you.
Daniel, thanks a lot, my dear brother. I'm very looking forward in July to participate and contribute very much. And by the way, I would like to invite you, if you're spontaneous enough, in 18 minutes we start the men's show, Wild at Heart. And some guys dropped out. Maybe if you want, I can send you the link and you can join in. The topic today is actually how passionate can a man be?
Oh, let's go.
Okay, cool.
Love it. I love that
Cool.
spontaneity.
I'll send you the link afterwards. It's a different studio, different link.
Yes. All right.
All right,
Well,
Daniel. We'll give you a few minutes
See you later.
powder
Bye,
your nose. Okay, bye-bye. Fantastic. Roland, before we leave today, I just want to share this with you because you and I do shows about healthy lifestyles, etc. There's a gentleman in the States who has committed to eating only McDonald's for 100 days. And after 10 days, he's down 12 pounds. His blood work's going to be better. So I don't know. We're going to have to revisit this healthy eating.
Did you? There was a movie years out where a guy did a challenge. I get Big Mac or Big Deal. It was the movie called. I saw it, and I saw also the second part of it. Yeah.
Are we doing the right thing, Roland? I'm not sure.
Absolutely, we're doing the right thing. We're doing the right thing.
All right, my friend. How can people reach out to you, and who do you want to contact you?
Yeah, who wants to contact me? Everyone who wants to connect, or wants this planet making a better place, maybe who, I don't know, who want to improve and support their stuff. And when you run a business, it doesn't matter it's a small or mid-sized or large-sized business, you can contact me. If you want to have a fancy, crazy lifestyle like myself, you can contact me on Wireless Life Rocks. If you want to join our men's group, if you want to do something for the environment, please join me in. I'm always happy to connect with other people, and it's all about sharing and caring and making all this, making all together this amazing planet a better place for all of us. So free will to join us. The best way is email. It's office@roland.friedl.com. It's the best way, or you go directly on the website and fill out the contact form. For those guys who are listening on a podcast or on a radio station, I will spell it for you. It's ROLANDFRIEDL.com. Yeah, and if you want to join us in 15 minutes, we start the Wild at Heart show. It's a show for men, by men, about men. And today's topic is how passionate man can be. Looking forward to see you there too. Thanks, Dr. Jacalyn.
Thanks, Roland. I'll see you over in the other studio in just a minute.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. And thank you again to each and every one of you who continues to follow us, to support us, to book in for interviews. I have a couple of quick announcements. The first is, yes, March 26th, I will be celebrating my 60th birthday. Woo! And it's also a book launch party for our third book in the amazing adventures of Lady Ella, the listening mentor. The book title is Lady Ella Has Afternoon Tea in London. So if you'd like to join us, please go ahead over to our website, usaglobaltv.com, and register to be part of the celebration. All right, thanks so much. We'll be right back with our men's show. See you then. Bye.